So there's that. Now, the other part about getting started with this is actually finding people to play. I would say the ideal group for new people, especially, is ideal because it just, like, let's say you have all new group. The ideal amount is 5 people. Now, and that's not saying that you can't play with more or less. The first time I played, it was only 3 people. It was my friend who was DMing and playing, and also it was me playing and his brother who was also playing. So it was a party of 3 and 1 DM. Obviously, you need the dungeon master is what I mean when I say DM. And but that was my first group, and that was, I mean, we added on a lot to it once I started telling my friends about it. And of course, I asked the right friends that wanted to play, which is basically, like, at this point, it's all my friends that play now. But I'm getting off track. But that's what was my first group, was 3 people. But ideally, 5. Let's say 5 people. You got your dungeon master, and then 4 player characters. And that's what you really want. So, but let's say you're all brand new. All 5 of you are brand new. You need to start with these 3 books. Now, this is 3.5. This is edition 3.5. This is where I started. I think it's a pretty good starting spot. 3rd edition, like just straight up 3rd edition, is a bit broken, where the characters are very overpowered. I can't really speak about 1st or 2nd edition other than it's not quite so easy to get your hands on anything for cheap. So these are pretty affordable. I got all 3 of these books for about $30 a piece. And they're very well printed. These are really good reprints. I'll get back into these books in a quick second, but yeah, never mind. Let's just get into the books. So the first book you're going to want is the Player's Handbook. And the Player's Handbook has everything in it that you would need as a player. It tells you everything about the classes, the skills, the races. You know, it gives you a little visual of what the races are, what they look like. This is what an elf looks like. You can see that. Ability scores, explains all that stuff. And, of course, it has the races. Not the races, the classes, I'm sorry. So, here's a fighter. You know, you got, I believe there's 8 starting classes, if I remember exactly. It tells you what your experience will be when you get your feats, all that good stuff. I mean, I'm sure if you're brand new to this, you're like, what the heck's a feat, you know? But if you played, like, any role-playing games before in the past, like, let's say World of Warcraft, for example, then you'll know what races. Oh, that's what I was trying to get at. The editions that you should play. I recommend 3.5 because, I mean, this is what I play. This is what I know. I have not played 4th or 5th edition, but I have also played Pathfinder, which is Dungeons & Dragons 3.5, or 3.75, basically. Almost 4th edition. It basically takes everything from this and really balances it really well, which is nice. I can speak, however, on 4th and 5th edition a bit. Basically, I feel like 3.5 is a very good mixture of it is well balanced. It has a good mixture of role-playing and combat, which is really good. I mean, 4th edition, from what I've collected, and this is why I haven't played 4th edition, is it's very fixated on combat, much like Diablo, like a tabletop version of Diablo. Which, if that's what you want, you can do. But again, with 3.5, you can do that. So I haven't played 4th edition, but it goes really deep into combat. And 5th edition, the brand new edition, is kind of the exact opposite. 5th edition is focused more on the role-playing aspect of it, and much less on the combat. Combat is very simplified in 5th edition, the brand new edition. And, I mean, it is You can still do combat in either of them. You can still roleplay in either of them. But there are various rules like that they get rid of for the respective things. Like basically, 4th edition is like an MMO version of Dungeons and Dragons, not be confused with the actual MMO. And 5th edition is just getting rid of a lot of the combat rules and really streamlining combat. Which, because some of these rules can get convoluted. But I find that Pathfinder is the best version, at least that I've played and that I've read up on and whatnot. And I've been playing Pathfinder for about a year now. I've been playing 3.5 for a little bit longer. But let's get back into the books. So, the Player's Handbook, again. This goes for everything that the player needs to know. The races, the classes, gets into the feats, which are like special things that your characters can do. For example, maybe they can jump a little bit further, swim better, whatnot. It has all the standard gear that you would be able to get. So no magical stuff in this, but like it'll have like leather armors and shields, tower shields, and all that good stuff. And of course the weapons and the items. Like it has like little pictures of it if you don't know exactly what it looks like, but they also have the long descriptions also. And then they also have the spells that you'll be taking, the basic spells, which are also good. And it has all the, all the spells. These are all the spells for a higher level sorcerer or wizard, see. So that's what you need if you're going to be a player. And then if you want to be the dungeon master, you need this, obviously. Again, and this has your magical items in it. It gives you ideas for adventures. Non-player classes, which people don't usually use too often. It basically tells you how to play as a dungeon master, and has all the goody stuff. Also has prestige classes in it too. Gives you the charts for how much experience the party should be getting, and all that good stuff. Traps, standard stuff. I won't say anything else good in here worth mentioning. Oh yeah, well, this is all the other good thing too, is if you want to throw like a stock like class at the player that's like not a non-played class, it just has stock stats for like range or whatnot, so that's good for you as a DM. But yeah, oh yeah, here are the prestige classes like the assassin and whatnot. That's good for your players when they get a little bit higher up in levels. And that's that. Oh, and then it has potions and whatnot. And last but not least, this goes kind of with the DMG that you're going to need, is the monster manual. And this has all the cool monsters that your party will be fighting. So here's an Aboleth. Wow. See, a Chaos Beast. Look at this. The artwork is pretty cool in some of this. Where is... and you got your dragons. And this is good. It gives you not only like visual aid for the dragons and the monsters, but it also will give you like tips on how to play them, what their personalities like, how smart they are, what languages they speak, all that good stuff. Because like some creatures are, they're pretty straightforward. Like it'll be like some sort of beast that'll just charge you and try and kill you, while others will try and trick you or ambush you, set up traps. All that good stuff. Here's a goblin. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Crenshaw and a Kraken. Release the Kraken. Alright. So you're going to need these. These 3 books. And as I said, or maybe I haven't said, these are about $30 a piece on Amazon. Kind of expensive. It's kind of expensive to get into this game. Now, obviously, you can, find ways around that. I personally like buying the books. I mean, if you have a little bit of extra money to go and spend on them, yeah, that's the way to go. The reason, though, why I like Pathfinder so much is, A, not only is it a little bit more balanced, this one book is the Player's Handbook and the Dungeon Master Guide all wrapped up into one, and this was also $30. How about that? And it has all the same stuff that the Player's Handbook has, and all the stuff that the DMG has. Guide. Oh, oops. My bad. Sorry. So, that's why I like this, and also the artwork is pretty cool. Like, look what's going on here, you know. But that's why I like it. I don't have the Bestiary, which is the Monster Manual version for Pathfinder, on me because my friend is borrowing it. The cool thing also about Pathfinder is if you have anything from 3.5, you can use it in Pathfinder seamlessly almost. So, I mean, it's backwards compatible with it, basically. Which is really nice. It's a nice feature to have. Like, let's say that there's a cool spell that you... Well, let's say if you're a group moving from 3.5 and you're like, oh, let's play Pathfinder now. Like, which is what happened in my group. We have a lot of books from 3.5 with a lot of cool items and spells, and, you know, sometimes we want to use them. So that's why Pathfinder is cool. There's one other thing in one of these books. So now that you have these books, you're starting to get set. Yeah, there we go. What else do you need? Well, you're going to need character sheets, which, nice enough, are in the back of each of these books. So if you want, you can take them up to Office Max or whatever and print them out. And you're going to need these for your characters. There's also sources online. And that was the other thing I was going to say about Pathfinder, which makes it so nice, is if you go on their website, which is Paizo.com, it's right there in the bottom of the book, you can find all of the books on their website, so you don't necessarily need to go out and buy them, which is really cool by them. You can't really do that with D&D specifically, but that's why Pathfinder. Pathfinder is essentially was made by people that just wanted to update D&D. So that's really cool by them. So you got your books, you got your character sheets. What else are you going to need? Well, you're going to need bags of dice. So you don't necessarily need a Crown Royal bag or a chainmail bag, but it all is the same. And you're going to need a set of dice. Sets of dice come pretty regularly. If you, again, go on Amazon. I don't work for Amazon, but this is where I find all my stuff. So dice comes in sets of 8. You have your D20, D8, D6, which is, when I say D, it's and then the number, that's how many sides are on it. So a D6 is your standard dice. This is a D10, 10 sides. And D8, 8 sides, obviously. D20, 20 sides. This is arguably the most important piece. I mean, you can't play the game without a D20. And dice are pretty cheap. You can find, like, hundreds of dice. You can get, like, just, like, a pound of dice for, I don't know, like 20 bucks, which will give you way more dice than you'll probably need for a long time. Probably for all you and your friends. And then, you know, I got my own special dice. These are loaded dice. They make me always roll good. Just kidding. They're not, but I don't know if you can see. Yeah, they're kind of crystal-y looking. No, I don't. There's no point in cheating in D&D. It takes all the fun out of it. So, so you got your dice, you got your books, you got your character sheet. Now you're going to need, at least for 3.5, with 1st and 2nd edition, you don't really need this. And realistically, you can play the game without these, but it really, really helps to have a map and miniatures. So let me see if I can set this up. So show you in my hand. Miniatures. You know, I got a few casters here. Orc guy. Ranger. You know, and then monsters. Hextor. Baylor. And of course, the blue dragon. Now, this all helps, and basically the way this works is these squares, these inch-sized squares, I hope that's coming up on there. These squares, they represent a 5-foot square. I mean, this is all in the book, so you can read those. You want to really read the rules of this game. And basically, the way it works is your character occupies a 5-foot square. So, or 5-foot space, basically. So, that's what you need to get started with the game. I'll go more in depth. I think I want to make some more videos on how this all works. I want to go over how to, you know, like I want to go over like how to play as a player character, how to play as a dungeon master, and maybe share some good stories. But that's basically what I wanted to go over for this video. So thanks for watching, and